What is this? Already? We got a new generation of Pokemon already? On the Switch 2? Oh my god. Yo. What is this? Scarlet and Violet, man. That shit was the worst thing you could ever do. Oh, there you go. But maybe this time, maybe it's different. Maybe this time it's different for a change. Oh, man. I know they put that free update, but you gotta have a Switch too. And I didn't have a Switch 2 at the time for Scarlet and Violet. So fuck them. Okay. Oh. New era already. Oh. Well, see what they got this time. I'll see it right. Yeah. Okay. I think we are good to go. 6, 7. All right. Let's see what they cooking this time. Switch 2, baby. Damn, this shit look real as fuck. Oh my god. Nah, I'm playing. It's Pikachu. Little buddy. Pikachu. Espeon. Umbreon. Kecleon. The Skybird thing is Starly. That reindeer thing. Go-Goat. I remember Go-Goat. Slowpoke. Big Pikachu? Oh my goodness. Oh my god. We're not in 4K, are we? Oh god! Oh. That's all we get? Okay. Why as hell? Game Freak again. What have y'all been cooking, man? Oh. Oh god. Actually looks a little better. Oh my god. A little better. Especially the water. Like that. Oh my god, that water looks amazing. Lava too. Another grass bird? Route? Tomba? Got fired off. Gecko. Another song? What the fuck? Maybe this one. fucking way. Can we go down there? Don't fuck with me. Don't play with me. Waves. Next year? Oh my God! It's not coming out this year. What? Next year? That's what's up. That it? Oh, that was it? What the fuck? That was it? Oh God. That's all they have? Well, let's see the comparison. Can't stop right there, man.
Derek and Brandon, Pokemon Winds and Waves has been revealed, and it's looking pretty snazzy. Not top of the line in visuals, but a huge jump from Scarlet and Violet. And so I wanted to go through and recapture some of the scenes within Scarlet and Violet and see exactly how much these things have been improved. And I want to start off with probably the most drastic comparison. So allow me just to send it to you guys, and you can tell me what you think.
Wow.
Damn!
So this is coming from somebody who's only played the smallest bit of Scarlet and Violet. To see it, like, I knew it was better, but to see it just there.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, just flat.
Yeah, the water technology is a huge bump in Winds and Waves. Obviously, there are
like
still some
this.
quite low-resolution textures around the game. That rock is still rather low-res, but it is nothing compared to the rock surface that's going on in Scarlet and Violet right now. That's just flat as anything.
I mean, just look at the geometry of the other rocks. It's such basic shapes for those rocks in the distance, and Violet.
A little
then you
better
look at the
is an understatement.
actual, like, it feels like a flowing landform.
Yeah. The lighting is a huge part of it too. If you just look at the sky, how things are diffusing off each other.
I think they cooked on this one.
It's completely flat in the last game, whereas now you've actually got some pretty nice looking
looks
lighting,
like a game now.
especially with the reflections on the waves as well. It looks pretty good.
There's even like the distant detail doesn't seem to diminish at all. Like the island in the background of the wave screenshot feels full and alive.
I mean, this shit is called Waves.
Shall we move on to the next screenshot?
Oh my
Show
God.
me.
All right, this one.
Yeah, that's how see how shocking
this one
is.
isn't as drastic. We've got a comparison of the Pokemon centers in the overworld, which look very similar in their design. They're still just going to be plopped around. But I think a big thing to focus on is the background detail here. Because if you were to focus on what's going on in Scarlet and Violet, you've got a very flat background of the main school area there.
Yeah, and it's kind of ugly.
it's kind of Nintendo 64-ish, honestly, looking at some of those. Obviously up-res N64 in a lot of those cases, but it's still everything feels so flat.
We need more truck.
And
we need
I'll give the grass in the foreground a little bit of a break because it's going for a more
triangles.
cartoonish look, which is fine for Pokemon. It's fine to have that kind of.
Surprised they're still going for that same art style.
My God, just looking at just the ground and the designs, and even just how more natural flow of here's the Pokemon Center, but it just flows right into everything else. It's just built into everything. It doesn't stand out. I don't know. There's something very appealing about whatever this land is in.
Thank God it's
the
coming
Pokemon
out
Center itself too. Like if you look at the counter,
if it came out this year on the holiday,
I guess those are magazines or something. There's just a lot more going on. Because the Pokemon Centers in Scarlet and Violet are just two people standing at empty desk.
There's something that we'll talk about a bit later on as well. There's some neon signs here, so things are glowing quite nicely. And that's definitely going to come into play later. But let's move on to the next screen, which is... Let's go with... One sec. Okay, this one here. This is definitely more of a lighting scene, but we have a windmill comparison.
Damn!
Oh boy!
Where are the shadows
So there's not a whole lot of geometry going on in Scarlet and Violet in this scene. It's hard to capture this windmill.
But
I think
breaks.
the way that Waves and Winds is looking up, and you sort of get the lighting from the sun diffusing on the windmill, actually looks really, really nice.
You can even see like the way that light and shadow cast on the brickwork. On the cylindrical part. There's so much more depth in the image here.
There's a nice subtle touch as well, because you can see the rust on the panels of the windows.
Oh, yeah.
That just, again, it's those little touches that make it feel so much more alive or weathered or real that bring it in there. And, it comes across as very sterile in the other one. It's fine. It has it's a look, but there's something just, I don't know, cozy about the Waves one.
You can catch a few more elements of the Winds and Waves namesake as well, because obviously waves are a huge part of this game, but so is the wind as well. So there's a lot of things blowing.
I think I can see the squares
in that wave shot there. You can actually see a bit of grass just being caught by the wind and being caught around. Pay attention to the clouds as well. They're very flat in Scarlet and Violet, and they're dynamic in Waves and Winds, which again is part of the winds.
That makes me think that
I've noticed that up to that point. This is probably the best looking clouds Violet's had so far in a screenshot, but it's still blown away by Waves.
It kind of says to me that weather effects will be a lot more pronounced and dynamic in Winds and Waves.
I would think so.
Because those clouds, since they're dynamic, they'll be able to create a storm in a more realistic way.
So I only have one more for this comparison. There's another one coming up straight after. This is actually quite close in area design. We've got two cliff edges with grass.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Yo.
Wow.
Violet looks like Windows 98 screensaver in some ways.
Well, a big thing to keep into account with Scarlet and Violet as well is the grass is drawn very close to the player. So if you look a bit ahead, you can see where the grass stops being rendered and it just becomes flat green. That doesn't seem to be the case in Wind and Waves. I mean, it's quite a tight shot, but you can see a lot more background detail than anything in the last game.
It's covered up by that sun.
I think the thing that gets to me is that it's definitely not as advanced tech as as Breath of the Wild, but I get still Breath of the Wild vibes of the softness of the environment in Waves. Where it's just Violet is just like,
did they pull through?
Just
okay, probably not.
Enjoy. It's no wonder. It's like something just felt off.
They
about
definitely catching up
Violet
now
as you played it.
They needed that
from
hardware
a visual
boost.
standpoint.
Also, seemingly some I don't know if it's simulated or if it's real, but like volumetric lighting happening.
It looks like it.
Yeah, the way it just kind of like casts through the air, and then you have a big light ray down the middle of the screen. But it's a lot more convincing of an image than just the cartoony flatness of Scarlet and Violet.
I mean, as always with Pokemon, focus on the trees as well.
Like
in the distance in Waves, you can see the light is piercing
it looks more
through
like
the leaves,
Waves.
where there's none of that.
On the Switch One,
because it's quite static lighting.
I couldn't tell you where the sun is in Violet.
True, that's true.
Well, that's the last Violet and Scarlet screen I have. Sorry, Violet and Scarlet screen I have. But I decided to also compare it to another game, which is perhaps the best-looking Pokemon game that's ever shipped, being New Pokemon Snap, which is, of course, a static game. You can't explore it, so the environments are very deliberately designed. However, I think there are still a lot of advancements in the open world, Waves and Winds.
And yet it don't
so
look
let's
like
begin
that.
with this volcanic scene, which I don't believe Violet and Scarlet even has a volcanic area, but here we are.
We got more hints of what appears to be volumetric lighting here coming off of Slugma. He glows.
I think the other thing to me, I think that I know you guys noticed quite a bit during the live reaction. The Pokemon have a lot more texture to them now. They're not just flat. I think that helps this a lot. Not just with the light that's coming off Slugma themselves, but just the fact that it has any kind of texture at all. It's not just like, okay, we got a render, it's in there, we're working with it. It's nice to see that they've reached a point where they can sort of start refining the actual Pokemon themselves.
Yeah. Going through this area again in New Pokemon Snap, it's very intense. Like, everything's just a big orange. If you look at Slugma and the lava, they're barely a different hue. Whereas there's a lot of differences between Slugma and the lava on the floor in Wind and Waves. But you can also see a pretty glaring example of low-resolution textures. That rock that Slugma's on doesn't look particularly good.
Yeah.
But this game is also a year away, and it is a huge improvement to what we had in the past.
We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
And I know he's glowing, but his body isn't casting any shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this scene here is not exact, but it's about as close as I could get to a sort of a pond environment. And again, I think the lighting and the water is just such a huge change.
Oh, wow.
You got actual reflections in the water?
I don't know. Have we ever had a swamp in Pokemon before? Certainly not in any of the 3D games. So
Arceus
the fact that we
did.
even have water of this type to go through is significant in and of itself. It feels different for Pokemon.
Yeah, because
Legends Arceus had a swampy kind of bog.
That's true. Yeah.
Can't go in the water.
Yeah.
But it didn't look nearly as refined as this.
Yeah. You know, going through Scarlet and Violet to get this footage, a lot of areas look the same because the weather conditions are basically the same no matter where you go. Whereas this swamp here clearly has a very different vibe and atmosphere to the fields we've seen in the past. So it seems like the actual biomes are going to reflect all those dynamic elements in a way that you never really saw before.
You can even see it in the way that, like, the stalks of the lily pads and the trees that go underwater.
It's just flat.
The way they, like, that light is, like, refracting and reflecting, it feels a lot more convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got two final shots. One is above water and one is underwater.
God.
Now, I think New Pokemon Snap's water is actually quite good, but it's obviously a very different vibe to what we're getting in these games.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, that one with the Snap water, there was a function to at least
We got
its
hella
water because you need to
waves.
kind of keep it clear so you can see the Pokemon coming, so you can ready the shot. So you can kind of give it a pass, but just having those natural waves in waves is really nice.
In waves.
Yeah, there's...
They was in the
I don't
studio
know,
like, we need
the waves add so
waves.
much texture to the world.
Where the waves at?
And it feels like it'll play like a functional element. Like I mentioned storms before. I wonder if the waves will get like more intense if it's raining.
You gotta
or
have
storming.
a surfboard in that.
Will that affect the
You gotta have a
Pokemon in the
surfboard
world?
in
I
that
feel
thing.
like there's just a lot
Please.
more potential.
Give me a surfboard. Then I'll buy the
because
game.
of what's going on here in the visuals.
Yeah.
If there's a
Now,
surfboard,
this is the last shot we have.
you can
and
ride
maybe
on.
the closest
I'll buy
shot
the
we
game.
have. So let me just send this along.
Whoa.
Oh wow!
Very
Notice
similar
how
area.
things in the distance and waves, like under the water, they get
Oh.
darker, harder to see, murkier. That's
Yeah.
so nice.
It's
Depth
really
of
nice.
field?
Yeah.
And I was talking about the glowing on the Pokemon Center earlier. We saw it again on Slugma, and we're seeing it right here on the left.
Oh yeah.
I mean, left don't look too bad.
Yeah.
There's a
either.
Pokemon illuminating.
Whereas it's not happening at all in
Yeah.
New Pokemon Snap.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. I mean, again, there's a more cartoon feel to Snap, whereas Waves is. I think Brandon put it best. There's texture to it. It feels real, lived in,
There's
authentic,
texture.
which we've never had in Pokemon before.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a style that you would think would work, but there's something about it just that there's a cohesion here that is really working for me right now.
This game
And-
being on Switch 2 is starting to make a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, this has to be a Switch 2 exclusive, and them giving themselves another
It better
year,
be.
potentially
Oh,
another year and a half
hell
if they
no.
decide to wait till
Well,
the
that shit on the
usual
Switch
October
One.
slot.
That shit
There's
about to
a lot
blow
of time to
up.
make this even look better and run.
That shit about
really
to blow
well.
up.
like
man.
you can look at the Winds and Waves trailer and pause it in several areas, and you are going to see some pretty shoddy texture work. But taken as a whole, like all the lighting, all of the weather conditions and the
looks
gameplay
so
elements,
bad on the
I think it all
left.
comes together to make a really nice, cohesive whole, which Pokemon hasn't
Well,
had
you can play at 60
since it
FPS.
was 2D.
Yeah.
Not especially.
I still, like, when
yeah.
you look at the game, I can still kind of feel like it's foundationally built in the technology from Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah.
but with just a lot more... a lot more
It's like an
power
upgrade.
and a lot more time put into it.
The times they keep
I
up,
wonder if Monolith Soft is helping at all.
maybe it wouldn't be that
Oh,
surprising.
yeah.
Yeah, they do have quite a bit of support teams, and I could see them like maybe calling them in, help out a little bit. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a chance to bring this up again, but I do want to go back to the Pokemon Center screenshot. As just as another point of comparison. Your trainer is such a dork in Scarlet and Violet. And you look at the trainer in Winds and Waves and like, finally, I said this in the discussion, but man, it's nice to have actually a cool design for the male trainer for the first time in a long while.
Yeah,
we don't know where this game takes place in the real world, but he sure is giving me Outback vibes.
Yeah.
Same with his outfit.
It's the hat.
Yeah.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for joining me for this. It is exciting to see how this game is coming along, and it's exciting that we're not getting it anytime soon. Give it time to cook, and hopefully it'll look even better by the time you get it. But, thank you so much for listening, everybody, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Holy fuck, dude. Yo. Nintendo about to do it again, bro. They giving me hope. They giving me hella hope right now. Come next year, Pokemon might be back. That shit might be back. But until then, just let me know your thoughts, man. Is this gonna cook? Or this is a whole bunch of hula? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.